All right. Well, it's 12:30, ladies, and welcome once again. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this growth session. Thank you again for participating in this lunch and learn session. I want you all to know how important this time has been for me, and hopefully this time has been good for you. Again, I just want to encourage you as we take a personal dive into growth and development. It is absolutely the number one most researched entry on Google. It has over 48 million hits, and people are just looking for a way to expand their knowledge, increase their capacity. And I have decided to do that with John Maxwell. I am absolutely ecstatic about my own personal journey around growth and development. I was looking at some books that I had this morning, and John has written over 100 books, and I have just a very small cadre of books that he has. And one of the books that I am reading right now, of course, is why we're engaged today, and that's the 15 Laws of Growth. Today, we're going to spend the rest of the time talking about the Law of Environment. The Law of Environment says that growth thrives in conducive surroundings. And if I were at home, I would actually show you my plant. So I was given a plant about 2 weeks ago. And so the person said, hey, just kind of keep watering the plant and put it in some sunlight and it will actually stand up. So the plant itself was leaning over when she gave it to me. And I got to tell you, one, I don't have a green thumb, but I thought if I put it in the window and I give it some water, that it will actually rise to the occasion. Well, guess what happened? I forgot to put water in it. And I actually did put it in front of the sunlight. So it did begin to just rise just a little bit, but because I didn't keep the water up, I didn't turn it, I didn't talk to it, I didn't do any of those things, literally the plant is dying. And so there it is with our growth. We can do everything that we can to actually put all the factors in place for us, but if our surrounding, if our environment is not conducive to growth, then even every single effort that we are taking to increase ourselves, to grow ourselves, it's actually not going to be fruitful. And hello to you who have just joined the line. I was just talking to them about my plant and this particular law, which is called the Law of Environment. Once again, growth thrives in conducive surroundings. Well, we are upon the spring season, and actually, spring got its name from nature's sudden display of growth. So, like, spring literally means to leap, burst forth, or fly up. And so, when conditions are right, warmer temperature, longer days, and more sunlight, then we start to see some tenets of growth. We start to see the grass increase. We start to see the flowers spring up from the ground overnight, and we start to see the ground softening and things of that nature so that it can take the condensation, it can take the rain. And so we see little tenets of growth happening. But what happens if we did not have the warmer temperatures and the longer days and the more sunlight? We would not start to see any of the tenets of growth. And I'm just going to take a moment to mute everyone so that we don't get any background noise, okay? Can everyone see me? Myra, can you still see me?
Yes.
Are you seeing a phone? Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. All right, so what does a good growth environment look like? And I want to actually take you through 7 things that really helps to make sure that you are in a good growth environment. You see, to really reach our full potential, we could have all of the ingredients and then again, not have surroundings that really help to cultivate those things that we are trying to do. Growth thrives in favorable conditions. And when we surround ourselves with people and opportunities that are conducive to our development, then we start to see traction in the things that we're trying to do. So there are 7 things, and I just want to take the time to go through all 7 of them. I hope that you have some paper and an opportunity to take some notes, okay? Number 1. You need to be in a place where others are ahead of you. I'm still talking about environment. So it's like, if you're in a room full of people in a growth environment and you're the smartest one in the room, then you are in the wrong room. You're in the wrong class. If you're the head of your class, so you think about your job, you think about your department, and if you are the smartest one in that department, then you're in the wrong department. Your environment is not conducive to growth whatsoever. You ever feel like, I don't know about you guys, but you ever feel like you need to talk to other people who know more than you know? And you feel like you've exhausted your circle. You love your friends, you love your family, you get along, maybe even with your coworkers, but you need something else. Well, you actually need to be in an environment where others are ahead of you, where they're smarter than you. And so you have got to seek to spend time with people who are smarter, faster, and more successful than you. A place where others are ahead of you. When I went to Florida to get my certification through John Maxwell, someone asked me, why are you going down there? And you know what I said to them? I said, I need to be around people who are smarter than me. And when I said that, that thing just kind of clicked on the inside of me. And when I went down there for 4 days straight, and I lie not to you, I could not stop writing because everybody in the room at my table were smarter than me. And I needed to just digest everything that they said. And if I could show you my notebook, it is full of notes. And every single time I get on a John Maxwell call, I go on the website, I take one of the courses from the online university. I am like a sponge. And I mean, I have a degree. And it's nothing, I mean, my degree is in one concentrated area and yours may be too, but I gotta tell you, it was like going to school all over again. So you have to get it. And with that said, number 2 is you've gotta be in a place where you are continually challenged. A good growth environment puts pressure on you to improve. And if you don't feel that way in your job, amongst your friends or colleagues, or in that circle that you're in, if your daily work is too comfortable or what you're talking about is the comfort zone, then you have shortchanged yourself and you have stunted your own development. You got to get out of that circle. You've got to expand your set of friends, expand your set of professional colleagues that you are in. Now, I know I'm going to make a statement and it's hard to believe, but it's actually healthy to be in over your head from time to time. And in my own journey right now, that's exactly where I am. I'm actually trying to start a new business, and I got to tell you, it's not in my comfort zone. It is not in education. I am passionate about what I'm doing, but I am in over my head. And I often feel like, God, why am I doing this? I don't have the experience or the expertise. And he said, you know what he said to me? He said, you go find the people who have it. And you bring them into your circle because they're smarter than you in this particular area. It forces us to swim and it forces us to become stronger. And if coming out of like your strength zone, we don't want you to drown. So I don't mean come out of your comfort zone and now you're just, you're drowning in it. No, you want to be in a place where it challenges you to swim. That's what I actually mean. A place where it pushes you to sharpen your strengths. Okay? Not in a place where you don't have, let's say, natural ability. So for instance, what do I look like trying to go be a physician? That's crazy, right? So it's not my strength zone, okay? But teaching is. And so for so long, it's been in education. Well, now I'm going to take that same teaching piece and apply that to corporate and apply that to these principles of law. So I'm still in my zone, but I'm still in my strength, but I'm out of my comfort zone. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But you need to be in a place where you are continually challenged. Is anybody feeling that way? I just want you to come off mute for a moment. Do you feel like you're in a place where time for you to be challenged or to come out of your comfort zone? Or have you been feeling like the same circle of friends that you've been in? Like you're the smartest one? Like just a little bit of feedback.
Yes, I would say I do.
Okay. Care to expand just a little bit?
No, thank you. Not right now.
Have you been feeling like you're the smartest one in your circle?
Yes, only because I don't feel like the circle has challenged me beyond what I already know or what we already know. So yes.
So it sounds like to me you've been kind of in a place where you've been kind of treading water because you already know how to swim in that depth, right?
Yeah, that's a good analogy, yes.
Yeah, it's almost like you need to go like 3 feet out further, right? In uncharted territory. You still know how to swim, but you've never swam in that water before, right? Or
Right.
that depth. Anyone else on the line? Okay, I'm going to keep going. The third point is that you need to be in a place where your focus is totally forward. And I know that we need to preserve yesterday, but only as a resource. That's it. There have been some organizations where they feel like if you walk backwards slowly, that means progression. And so while you do need to look backwards, it's only to propel you forward. You don't want to impede your growth. So your focus has got to be totally forward, not on what happened yesterday, last year, 10 years ago. That was great for what it was. You need to move forward in your thoughts, forward in your actions, and forward in your behaviors. The fourth one is you need to be in a place where the atmosphere is affirming. Encouragement is like oxygen to the soul, and everyone needs it. Everyone needs to be cheered on to greatness. Everyone. Even the strongest person that you know, the strongest cheerleader that you know, still needs to be affirmed. So when I lost my job, and I just recognized this the other day when my position was eliminated, I'm not supposed to say I lost my job. When my position was eliminated last year, I will not forget, it was the same weekend that my niece was graduating from high school. And so we had a 3-hour drive. And so on the way back, it was late and everybody was asleep. And so I was going through the radio, and I have Sirius XM in my car. And I happened to stumble upon the Joel Osteen channel, the station, where it's nonstop Joel Osteen. And so we know him to be an encourager and a motivational speaker and all that kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, that weekend and every day since that time, I have been listening to Joel Osteen. And so Joel Osteen is like my shot in the arm, my daily shot in the arm. Even on my way to work today, I was listening to him. And so where I woke up feeling a lot of anxiety around resources and things like that, when I turned him on and started listening to him today, that thing just got me out of my funk. And it caused me to start speaking what I wanted into fruition. And so you have to stay in a place where you are being affirmed about what you believe, what you're trying to do. You cannot let negativity in, because truth be told, we can revert back to that so quickly and so easily. And it can actually be what we talk out of, what we produce out of, and we don't want to do that. A place where the atmosphere is affirming. Speaking of waking up this morning, you need to be in a place where you wake up excited. So excited going to work, excited being in that circle of people, excited. You need a passion, a real deep passion. And if your environment doesn't gravitate you or doesn't push you into passion, you won't be energized to do your job, to meet your goals, to go even for the things that you want to accomplish. And so you need to be in a place where you wake up excited to go to work, excited to complete your task. You're dredging it, all that. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to get out. Well, that is not bringing you growth whatsoever. And if I were truthful with myself, and in the last one I said, to thy own self be true, right? I was dreading going to work every day. Like, I didn't want to travel anymore. I didn't want to go into one more school. I didn't want to look at one more classroom. It was starting to be a poison and very toxic for me. And so it was probably a really great thing, and to my good, that my position was eliminated. It's just this place right here where you're trying to figure it out and where you're trying to make it work, that sometimes can be very uncomfortable. And that's why I, Arella, and you as well, have to stay in a place where you're being affirmed. Number 6, you need to be in a place where failure is not your enemy. You have to be free to fail. It does not make you a failure. And that is so important. And I tell my students, and I tell the staff just as well, failed attempts doesn't make you a failure. It just means that right there didn't work. Try again. That didn't work. Try again. How do you think Edison even created light, right? The light bulb. It was 99 times he tried. And had he given up one time, just one time, then we would not have the light bulb, or we would have it, but it wouldn't come through Edison. So the best growth atmosphere is rewarded through risk-taking and being daring and accepting that mistakes are a natural part of life. And failure now is viewed as a stepping stone to success rather than as a source of shame. You are not a failure. It's just that right there didn't work. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try something else. And I'm going to learn from that right there and say, oh, okay, this didn't quite work when I folded it this way, so I need to fold it that way. Whatever it is, please know that failure is not your enemy. And the last one is number 7, where you need to be in a place where other people are trying to do what you're doing. Other people are trying to grow. And so if you're with people who are not growing, and they're not even trying to grow, and they don't have a growth plan, oh boy, that's in the book. You should join me for class. If you don't have a growth plan, then why am I around these people? They're not helping me. They're not making my environment conducive to growing. They're not positive. They're not trying to be entrepreneurial. They're not trying to build something. Trust me, you need to be in a place where others are growing? What would it look like for you to be in a race where everyone was walking, but it was a running race and you were the only one trying to run? They're not helping you by walking. Not at all. We're all supposed to be running. This is a race for runners, right? So you wouldn't be able to even get your the wind under your wing because you're looking at all these walkers. So you don't want to be in that place. You want to stay in that place. You want to be in a place where growth is modeled and it is expected. That the people in that circle, they actually do desire change. I was listening to John Maxwell as I prepare for this, and one thing that he said, I think that just kind of took me somewhere. He said, so there was a question from the audience that said to him, John, who keeps you motivated? This is going to change your life if you listen to this, because I think that this has changed my life. And this was just 2 days ago. He said, I keep me motivated. And I thought, that is so incredibly crazy, because I cannot tell you, I can't motivate myself at all. I'm sorry, I'm in a classroom for those of you who have chimed in. It's really difficult to keep myself motivated. So he said, don't depend on someone else to motivate you. This is going to help you, and then we're going to be done for the day. He said, don't depend on someone else to motivate you. He said, they will disappoint you every time. He said, they won't pat you on the back. They won't show up when you need them to show up. They won't tell you things are going to get better. You have to make your own day and motivate yourself. And so the person said, well, how do you do that? And he said he has refueling stations and nourishment centers in his life. So he thinks about what songs brings him life that are quick and accessible to him. He said, what thoughts does he need to speak or others speaking to him? What experiences rejuvenate him? What friends, what people, what recreation recreates me? What spiritual exercises, what dreams inspire me? What family members, what gifts activate you? What memories make you smile? What books change you? All of those things are your nourishment centers, and they all bring you life. That is what motivates him. So I just close by saying that you need to be able to get to things that motivate you, that refuel you or nourish you very, very quickly so that you don't lose momentum. I want you to think, is your current environment, is it conducive to growth? Are the people that are in your space, are they growers? Are they ahead of you? Or are you the smartest one in the class? Are you in a place where you're continually challenged? Is your place focused forward? Is the atmosphere affirming? Do you wake up excited? All of these things, if they don't bring your environment to a growth environment, then you need to get out of that environment or change that atmosphere. I appreciate you all today. That is the end of our session. I just wanted to take a moment and say to everyone, I'm starting the actual full-blown class. And the class is going to start, I have 2 classes that I'm advertising right now, on Tuesday nights and on Thursday nights. I'm also open to a day class. So if I can get enough people that are interested in a day session, meaning that maybe during that 12:30 to 2 o'clock hour, you're open to having a class during the day because the nights just don't work. And I know several people who are off during the day that they may be open to that, then please let me know. Please let me know. But thank you so much for joining me during these Lunch and Learn sessions. I will do another book and another set of sessions next month is the goal. If it's not next month, it'll be the month after that. I'd like to try and get these classes off the ground. So if you know someone who's interested in growing and you're interested just as well, then I think that I've sent everybody on the line a link. If I haven't, just text me. And we'll be in touch. And thank you again so much. If you don't mind, if you gained or gleaned something from here and you have Facebook, would you please post or repost the actual invitation? Thank you all so much for your time today. Take care.